This is Cheryl with the Cut at Home Design Team. I'm here today with the beautiful Sunrise Lily collection, new from Heartfelt Creations. Here are a couple of the lilies that I made using the basic using the basic die set. We'll talk later about that in a minute. This is the larger lily and then the smaller lily. Let me first show you the Stampin' Die sets that come with this collection. We have, of course, the Sunrise Lily itself. The Stampin' Die, as usual, are set up where you're going to stamp all of these pieces at once and then cut them all at once. Very easily done. Heartfelt has done it right, as usual, so that we can cut these things easily and not cut off the top of a flower or something like that. And then separately you'll cut out the stamens for the flower. They're super easy to assemble too, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Next up is the Sunrise Lily Bouquet. You have a bouquet of lilies that are a little bit more closed, along with a vase that goes with that. You can see both of the dies are here on the Sunrise Lily Bouquet die set. What is not shown, there isn't a die for at this point in time, is this cute little hat that has the lilies around the brim. It turns out very nice. There's an additional die on the Sunrise Lily Bouquet die set, this one right here. This comes from a stamp set called Sunrise Lily Wishes. This has a beautiful sentiment with it that's rather long but very lovely, and then it has this arrangement of lilies that you could either put at the top or bottom or both. And the die for that is with this Sunrise Lily Bouquet die set. We also have Sunrise Lily Swirls. There are 3 different arrangements of the Sunrise Lilies with some greens, leaves, and such, some corner pieces, as well as a straight piece. You can see them better back here. These are cut and stamped separately, as opposed to the Sunrise Lilies themselves, where you stamp everything as a group. And then last but by no means least is the Sunrise Lily Flute stamp set. There's no flute on the front here, so I'm going to flip it over and show you the flute on the back. Here's the flute here with the Sunrise Lilies on either side. You have the beautiful basket with the lilies that we saw up front, along with the happy birthday sentiment. Also, because Heartfelt always takes care of us with paper too, we have the Sunrise Lily collection of papers. And so these are beautiful to finish, to create projects, either layouts or cards, tags. There's everything you can think of within the set. You can see, especially here, and probably noticed with the lily stamps as I passed them by, that the colors are kind of an orangey red and an orangey pink for this set. I wanted to be just a little bit different, both in colorways and techniques, so I'm not going to use any of the finished paper with my project. Again, these were the lilies that I made. I kind of looked at it and said, what if I couldn't afford to have this entire collection at once? Could I work with just one piece and make it work for me? So in order to conduct that little experiment, I worked solely with the Sunrise Lily die set, because I knew if I could cut out the pieces and follow the instructions, I could assemble those lilies. So to color them, first of all, I cut them out of, this is Strathmore mixed media paper. It's not really a watercolor paper, but it responds well to wet media like watercolors. Also works great with dry media. It's a great stamping surface, so it's always nice for these types of projects. To add color to my lilies, because if I cut them out of this, they're just going to be the white pieces, I'm using my Tim Holtz Distress markers. Wilted Violet and Crushed Olive were the 2 I used. Crushed Olives for the leaves and the Wilted Violet for the flower itself. On my first set of petals, and again, you can look at a number of things for inspiration on how to color it. I'm just looking at the back of the stamp set. Of course, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have access to this, but I could find a picture on the website. Sorry, that's probably casting a little glare for you, so I'm going to set that off to the side. But essentially what I did was outline the white piece with my purple marker, or for the leaves with my green marker. and then I added in those dashed line details. A little neater when I'm not on camera, needless to say, but sorry, this is what you're getting today. So once I have the marker in place, I want to check and see. You can see in the area that I just did, I've got a lot of white spots up there, so I want to go back through with my marker and just kind of fill those in. Then I'm going to lay this on my surface. I'm going to grab a water brush. Whatever water brush you have will work for this. This happens to be one of the Zig water brushes and is a very nice brand for this. I'm just going down those little sort of dashed lines to bring the color out on those. Again, it's the beauty of the Distress markers. They react well with water and you can pull color out of them. I'm going to begin by pulling the purple just around the edges to the center. I've got a very wet brush here again, so I want to sort of mark off some of that water so that it's not affecting. I don't want to see water puddles on this project. But I'm going to come out and pull that around the edges. You can see it's behaving a little better now that it's dried out a bit. And just continue working around this and blending around. I'm not going to get a perfect result right this second because I want to come back in a little bit after it's had a chance to dry and go back over the top of it. Too much water over Tim Holtz markers is just going to yield a puddly mess, and I want to be more controlled. But that's essentially what I'm doing, is pulling that water out. Now when you're using a water brush with various colors, you want to just rub it off on a clean paper to get rid of that last color you worked with. With my leaf, I want to have more of the green color, so I'm going over that entire leaf. Again, pretty wet marker, but I'm sorry, pretty wet water brush, but that's okay. You can, after this dries, you can go back with your marker. I can redefine my outside lines here. I can go back and put my detail in so that I end up with a finished product like this. All I'm doing in this initial stage is setting that base color. Again, the flowers are very dimensional. It's possible somebody can see the back, so you want to add a little color to the back too on your flowers and leaves. It's not difficult to do, but you just get a better result that way. This Strathmore paper is thick enough that working on one side doesn't really affect the other. So if I've done my front and it looks nice, it's not going to get messed up because I flipped it over to color the back. So that's what I did with the pieces for the flowers. Again, you'd want to do something at least on the outside of this little cup. Then the cup gets shaped and glued together, so it's more of a cone that this flower will sit in, helps it to keep its shape. Emma Lou has a great video on the Heartfelt Creations website on how to shape and form these flowers, and I really recommend that you go and look at that video when you're ready to assemble your flowers. Again, super easy techniques, nothing difficult here. The stamens, you have a choice. You're going to cup them up first, but then add a bit of glue. You can see I added a little glitter to the tips. You can add glitter, you can add prills, so many choices. So that is the Sunrise Lily collection from Heartfelt Creations. Thank you for joining me today.